Okay, well, this is my first attempt at trying to record, hopefully, winning everything on So Rare. We're going to have to see what it looks like, though. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. We are looking at the October week. We are just finishing up an international break here, so we're looking at October 18th through the 22nd this weekend. And we can just dig right into what's on the screen here. So, without further ado, let's take a look at all the lineups that hopefully are going to win us a little bit of everything. So, you'll see here on the screen, this is our only rare Premier League in season lineup. It's a full stack for Tottenham, and there's not much else to it. This is what I'm going with. I mean, if you look across all of those matchups, according to SorareData, this is the worst matchup in goal for Vicario, and I'm hoping at home Spurs after the international break, they're going to be firing on all cylinders versus a struggling West Ham. But we're just going to have to see. I mean, we're looking at an A matchup, double A matchup, triple A matchup, double A matchup, triple A matchup. I mean, Heung-min Son literally took off the international break for South Korea, which he never does, just so that he could recover from an injury. And now, hopefully, they're going to be back and crushing it. So, this is our first lineup, and I'm pretty excited about it. Next, if we take a look at it, this is a bit of a mix and match here. I don't really have a great forward for a full stack for Man City, although their matchup is extremely favorable. They're away to Wolves, who are dead last in the Premier League. You can see it there. So that'll be on the 20th of October. So I fully expect everybody on this team sheet to play. Kevin De Bruyne is still out with an injury, so you can't see him here. He's right here, so we're just assuming that that's not going to change. I haven't heard anything differently, so we're fully expecting that this is the group that we're going to go with, and they're all going to play. I've given the captaincy here to Phil Foden. We got Ruben Diaz as our defender. I did not go Rico Lewis in this lineup. You'll see why I put him in the under 23s here in a minute. But Ruben Diaz, A matchup, double A matchup. All these players are scoring pretty much above 50. I mean, even Phil Foden, who has struggled recently, is only because really he was battling injury and then he was getting sort of managed back into the starting lineup by Pep, I felt like. So we got all of them. De Bruyne's going to be replaced, obviously, here by Ilkay Gundogan, who I expect to, be pretty impactful in the midfield for City. And then our forward is none other than Dwight McNeil. And, I mean, everybody knows how good he is on this platform. So we will hopefully see a smasher here. And, I mean, we're in Division 4, so we're really just trying to get promoted with this lineup. If we can get promoted, that's a dream. And then we've got one more lineup here in our classic, and it's also Div 4. This is just kind of throwing everything into the mixer and seeing what happens here. None of these are good matchups, and I'm not just gonna put them all into the academy, even though that's probably a smarter decision. But we got Bart Verbruggen. They're away to Newcastle, not a good matchup. Malo Gusto away to Liverpool, not a good matchup. Facundo Buonanotte. I actually think this is a pretty good matchup. We're looking at a away to Saints matchup. I mean, and he's been scoring really, really well. I mean, I picked him up last year, and I thought he was a great player for Brighton. I loved the way he played. He was away with Argentina for the international break, but he didn't play. He didn't even come off the bench. So, I mean, realistically, he just logged some air miles, racked up some mileage points, and now he's back. Hopefully, he's going to feature at the weekend for Leicester. And like I said, away to Saints, I think is a favorable matchup, which is why we've captained him. They don't predict Jeremy Doku to play. I don't predict Jeremy Doku to play away to Wolves. Um, but I needed a forward. Um, and I would go Cody Gakpo off the bench here at home. But this is just I don't know. Luis Diaz should play this game for Liverpool on that left wing side, and Diogo Jota should play down the middle for Liverpool with Salah on the right. So Gakpo's not getting in. If he is, it's as a sub. Same with Nkunku. Nkunku's not starting this. He hasn't really started in the Premier League all season, despite the fact that he scored for France on the international break. That part doesn't really matter. I think both these players will be subs, and so the best one that has a chance to come in is Jeremy Doku, and that would just be if someone like Jack Grealish gets rotated. So he's going to be our forward, despite being the 100% predicted on not starting. And that's like, again, this is just a kind of, we're throwing everything in the mixer, and hopefully we get promoted. Maybe Buonanotte has a great day. Rodrigo Bentancur steps up, some reason against West Ham, as we expect Spurs to win. Maybe Verbruggen somehow comes away from Newcastle with, a penalty stop or something and a clean sheet, and we get promoted here. But this is just kind of a let's see what happens. Maybe we take some chances. And then let's jump right into Premier League Classic. I mean, this is our bread and butter. These guys are all studs, absolute studs. So we got Vicario, Porro, James Madison's captained. Again, I captained him in that rare lineup as well for in-season. Rare. This is a AAA matchup. He should be well rested after the international break and ready to go. Kulusevski and then Romero. So a great lineup there. If we jump to our sort of a hodgepodge team, but we got Ederson away again to Wolves. I've captained Josko Gvardiol, stud left back. Just got this card up to level 20. Take a look at this. This is pretty awesome. When we look at our cards here, for level 20, he's now level 20. I used 3 level ups on him today. But I mean, the reason we're captaining him is because look at these scores. I mean, hopefully he gets something in around the 80s, 90s, 100s. I mean, and yeah, so we believe in Gvardiol, and we're hopefully gonna see a big performance away to the worst team in the Prem. Then you've got the stack that I think everybody should run from Newcastle, no matter who they play. When they're at home, these two players seem to just go off. And Bruno Guimaraes, it's got him listed with a little bit of an injury here, subbed off injured until 10/18, which that would mean he plays. But I mean, I'm just gonna take the risk. But we didn't captain him, so we're not really worried. Anthony Gordon, I didn't love his international break. He only played one game, but home to Brighton, favorable opportunity for sure. And then Diogo Jota, home against Chelsea. I think he's got a chance to do something. He's going to make a difference. So I really like this lineup. It's Division 2, but I think it's got a chance. And then you'll see we went full stack. Now, I do not have a Chelsea stack for limited. And so this is just kind of me throwing all the chips in here on Liverpool. But, I mean, you can see these are all great ratings. Normally, I would probably split these up between Van Dijk, Trent, and Kelleher on one part of this, and then like Zoboslai and Mo Salah in another part, just so that we kind of balance each other out between getting that clean sheet versus the offensive contribution. I actually expect this game to be like 3-2 Liverpool, or 4-3. It's going to be a high scoring game. I just have that feeling. There's too much offense. and the way both these teams play, I have a feeling that will be the case. But so that's what we've got here, and like I said, we'll just have to see. So our You Never Walk Alone stack, we'll see how they do. I got the faith in them. Let's carry it right over to La Liga. Um, Over here, we've got our guy Inaki Pena. Now, there's rumors he won't start, and that they're gonna start Szczesny, if I'm saying that name correctly, Szczesny. There's rumors Pena does not start, and that they give Szczesny his first start. If that's the case, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get a Szczesny. I've been seeing his card go up and up and up in price recently, and I don't want to buy one because I got the faith in Pena, but this Szczesny card, if he's 180 right now, I mean, if he starts on Saturday, this card goes to 300 in the blink of an eye. And I mean, I know that for a fact. I mean, you just want to look at Ter Stegen's price graph before he got injured to basically mirror the exact same price on Szczesny. And I know Sorare's pumping out as many in-season Barcelona cards as they can, but they won't be able to get him out fast enough. This card will absolutely moon. And I say that because if you take a look at performance-wise, I mean, he puts up performances, and he'll be in front of an even better team than he was at Juventus. So I have a feeling that if he starts, we're behind the eight ball, but it's a chance I'm willing to take. I think Pena gets the start here. And then it's down to everybody else. Jules Koundé, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, our captain. Now, this one concerns me a little bit. He did leave the Spanish national team with a bit of an injury. But that was on purpose. They said everything was fine and that he was going to recover, and that it wasn't anything serious. So I do expect him to play. Although with Barcelona's fixture list coming up, I would not be surprised if he doesn't. And so we'll see. I mean, this whole lineup was away on international duty besides the goalkeeper. Koundé played for France. Pedri played both games. He came on as a sub for the second game for Spain, but Yamal was away for Spain. Lewandowski played for Poland. So we could see a lot of rotation there. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye on it. This is not Atletico, by the way. This is Athletic. I need to rename this lineup, but it's a bit of a mix and match here on this next one. So you'll see this is a Division 2 lineup. I actually really like this one, other than that Real Madrid's away, and I'm not certain that Camavinga starts, but I don't have another midfielder to replace him. I used that spot somewhere else. I'll show you in a second. But we got Courtois, Eder Militao. I expect both to start. He stayed away from the Brazil national team to be ready for their fixture list that they've got coming up. It's not a light one either. And then Nico Williams and Denny Vivian. He was away with international duty, but I fully expect him to start. I think he's highly undervalued, and I picked him up for like $19. So let's see if this lineup smashes. Next, we got only one team, La Liga Classic. I mean, I went with the best goalkeeper option on the weekend. I mean, I fully expect Atletico Madrid are sort of been floundering for a bit. I might need to change the captain here, but got the defensive stack for Atletico. He's been the best player in La Liga, Giovanni Lo Celso. So hopefully he plays. I didn't realize now it's been downgraded to 50%. Something must have happened that I'm not aware of, so we'll have to see. But then Lucas Vazquez should be the starting right back for Real Madrid, and Antonio Rudiger, center back, obviously. So he'll definitely start. So with all the center back problems at Real Madrid, I fully expect him to start. We get into our team here. Bundesliga. Only Bundesliga team that we have, just because I love watching Leipzig and all the kids that they've got, the young talents. But Gulaxi, Doki is not part of the Leipzig team, but if you look, David Raum, our card there, is injured, and they've even got Benjamin Hendricks as, oh, he's listed to play, but it says injury, back problems, and I just didn't want to take a chance, especially when you look at Union Berlin's matchup. I mean, we're talking about a pretty favorable matchup here. They're away to the 17th ranked team in the Bundesliga. I have every faith that they can keep a clean sheet on the road there. But otherwise, this is a full offensive stack here from Leipzig. Openda, Sesko, and then Xavi Simons. I expect them to kill it. So we'll see. We only got one lineup here for Champ Classic Div 2. It's usually a PSG full stack. But the other player we would have here would be either Kolo Muani or Lee Kang-in, and I didn't play either of them. And I don't know why. I'll have to figure out what was going on there. I think I played Lee Kang-in in under 23. But they're home to Strasbourg on Sunday. Second place versus seventh place. Not entirely sure what's going on. As far as, this game, I don't watch PSG at all except for Champions League. But these are all great players, and they're expected to smash. So Donnarumma, Nuno Mendes, Warren Zaire-Emery, away with France during the international break, but again, he didn't play. Ousmane Dembele is our captain for this one, and then I don't know if Julian Alvarez plays or not. He was away, and he, with Argentina, and that they're across the, they're a little hemisphere away. Who knows if he starts or not for Atletico Madrid, but this matchup is just too good to pass up. They're at home versus Leganes, or however you say this name of the team they're playing. I mean, I fully expect them to kill it. So, yeah, let's see what happens here. This could be really, really good. So that's exciting, and maybe, like I said, Div 2, maybe they come up with something. So we'll have to see. If we get into it here, Champ Classic. Now, I felt really good about this lineup. Now I'm concerned that he's not playing for some reason. That's surprising. I can take a look at that, though. Pickford, away to Ipswich, but everyone knows Dyche Ball with Everton. They should hopefully keep a clean sheet. McAllister, home versus Chelsea. I expect him to play. I expect him to play really, really well. I'm going to probably change this captaincy, though. We got a captain, my boy, Heung-min Son. It's a level 20 card. He's rested. Ignore what this says. He's rested. I know that says till 10/24. Ignore the haters. He's playing. I fully expect him to play. And then Alvaro Morata, home to Udinese. Now, apparently Milan is under fire. The coach is not loved, which I can't blame them. They are not playing up to their standards. I mean, they've just been so high and low. Beat Inter, lose to Fiorentina, just these highs and lows. I think they got to find a consistency. But I expect Morata to start up front, either with Tammy Abraham or by himself, and hopefully he scores. Hopefully Leao and Pulisic are providing those assists to him, but we'll have to see. So that's my first Champ Classic team. If we go second Champ Classic team here. Stay. Yeah, let's save that. Second Champ Classic team. I don't know. This is, again, I think this is, for me, another one where I just threw people in the mixer. Some of these guys are slated to start. Some of these guys aren't. We'll just have to see. But again, Bart Verbruggen, I use a different goalkeeper for under 23 rare with a better matchup, so he's not going to start. Emerson Royale, home again to Udinese, we just talked about. Rodrigo De Paul, I don't know. If he's not slated to start, we should go somewhere else with that lineup, because I do have other options that I know we could start. Marcus Llorente's hurt. Maybe we'll have to take a look here. We can take a look. This might change, but if he's not going to play, that's a pretty high reliability. And again, like I said, guys like him and guys like Julian Alvarez were away with Argentina on the international break, so you're going to see a live switch there. We'll put in Rodrigo Bentancur. And then, yeah, so we've got Cody Gakpo up front, but he's not starting. And then, obviously, Destiny Udogie, captain for the team. So, hopefully, again, that lineup does well. But if they don't, not a big deal. Under 23 rare. This is a good one. I'm excited about this lineup. Mainly because of all the favorable matchups you'll see here. So, home to Espanyol. He's back off suspension. I'm not even going to try and say his last name, but Julian. Starting in goal, Rico Lewis away to Wolves. If he plays over Kyle Walker, which I expect him to, I expect Kyle to play in the Champions League in the midweek. He should smash. Kang-in Lee, I don't know why they don't have him starting. In my head, he starts all day for PSG, especially just because I've looked at those projected lineups and they think that they're going to put Kolo Muani down the middle, but I think everybody knows that the coach for PSG just doesn't trust Kolo Muani right now. So it's got to be Kang-in Lee, who will probably start down the middle unless Asensio comes back and is healthy. And then we've got the two of the most informed players for Tottenham Hotspur. 6 goals in his last 6 appearances, club and country now. Scored it during the international break for Wales, which was awesome. Captaining up front, Brennan Johnson, and then Mickey van de Ven. What a talent. But yeah, home to West Ham. Hopefully, Spurs can't keep a clean sheet to save their life, so who knows? Maybe they do this weekend. We'll see. But that's our under 23 rare lineup. And then we've got what I think is probably my favorite lineup for all of Limited. This could be insane with some of these matchups here. Freiburg home. I think they're going to do well. Atsubolu, he's hot and cold. Some weeks he scores really well, some weeks he doesn't. It always seems like the Bundesliga is just ripe for getting goals. And so it doesn't do well for great goalkeeping. But I trust him this week. We'll see how it does. Mickey van de Ven, we just talked about him. Jude Bellingham and Vinny Jr. Both also stayed home from the international break. Should be healthy, should be ready to go. AAA matchup, AA matchup. We're expecting big things from the pair, the dynamic duo, and then everybody knows how good Bukayo Saka is. I don't need to explain that. He's just insane. So we'll see how that team does. And then last but not least, we've got Specialist Rare. Now, this is where I threw, again, everyone's into the mixer here. And I don't think this is going to do well. So I'm not even going to talk about it. But this is just to kind of get some players in. I don't think Kovar is starting at all. The reason I put him in is because Leverkusen does have a bunch of games coming up, so maybe Xabi Alonso rotates goalkeepers and then plays Hideki during the midweek. I don't have a Hideki card anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But Balde should play, Reinders should play. Kolo Muani at a minimum will come off the bench, so I don't really care about this. And then Galarreta should play as well. So we should see a pretty decent return here. But those are the teams. I love it. We'll see how we do. I'll check back in with you guys after the weekend's over and ahead of the midweek fixtures for the Champions League and Europa League and all that. But of course, let me know what you guys think. There's a lot of full stacks here. Let me know if you guys would do anything different with any of these lineups. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.